What's up, everyone? This is FP6 bringing you some more Go Battle League battles here in the Ultra League. Guess what? All of these battles are of me hard losing the lead and somehow still being able to come back and win the game. So I know, I understand. When you lose the lead, you see your worst, hardest counter in that opening matchup. It's easy to kind of start thinking down and being like, oh man, there's no way I'm going to win this match. They have all the perfect counters. But in this video, we're going to see some of the ways that I kind of come back from those really bad lead scenarios. I am rolling with a team of Machamp Snorlax with Body Slam Superpower. This moveset is actually very important. Body Slam and Superpower. And then Drifblim in the back. So essentially I have two Pokemon that can somewhat handle Charmers, being Snorlax and Drifblim. And then I have Machamp in the lead to hopefully catch like a Lapras or Steel types, but in this video you will see that does not happen too frequently. This strategy is often built around Snorlax regaining switch advantage. So Snorlax with an energy advantage, even if it's stuck against an Obstagoon or something, you're at least going to get a shield advantage with superpower because it's going to be hitting for very strong double super effective damage. Or if they swap something else in, you can just go straight Body Slam spam the whole time, and depending on shield scenarios, sometimes flip that matchup or at least come out with the shield advantage and then farm down with either Drifblim or Machamp. That's what you will see me doing a lot in this video. All my Pokemon are running the standard move set. The only one that's like really important is Snorlax running Body Slam and Superpower. Make sure you have that move set. Machamp is rocking Cross Chop and Rock Slide. And Drifblim is rocking Icy Wind and Shadow Ball. So let's kind of take a look at these battles here. Man, this battle is super intense right here. And there's something in my eye, so we're going to roll with this. I choose to mirror with my own Drifblim instead of bringing in my Snorlax in that particular scenario. And the only reason is because Snorlax is kind of my hard counter to my opponent's Drifblim. So obviously Machamp and a Drifblim, really terrible lead, right? And now my Drifblim is stuck against a Snorlax. This is also not great at all. But what I'm going to be able to do out of this is I'm going to be able to farm down this Snorlax with my Machamp. And you can see my Drifblim building up a lot of energy here. Now I'm going to switch in my Machamp. But he was smart and saved the energy and threw a Skull Bash to run out the clock a little bit. Out comes Drifblim again. If this is an Icy Wind, I survive. So I'm not going to commit a shield. And I'm going to go straight for the Rock Slide. It has been debuffed. My attack has been debuffed. But I still am able to get a shield. So I have a shield advantage. And now I'm able to get my Snorlax switch locked against his Drifblim. I know that my Drifblim still almost has an Icy Wind stored, but I know that his Drifblim is just going to go to town with these debuffs. Body Slam does almost no damage. It's really the lick damage that is able to take that out. Out comes his own Machamp, so it's literally the exact same team that I'm running, but in reverse, which is really horrible for me. At this point, I have to shield this and get this Icy Wind off on this Machamp. I need to chip this thing away. And I get the last shield. The counters are doing nothing to Drifblim. I think I'm going to commit the last shield here as well. This allows me to get to the Icy Wind. This Machamp is super debuffed. Now I'm going to bring out my Snorlax. He brings out his opposing Drifblim to catch the Body Slam. Really great play. This is going to be an insanely close match. These Icy Winds are adding up. But I know that he still has his Snorlax and his Machamp in the back. Body Slam's not enough to KO the Drifblim. I'm barely going to survive this Icy Wind. Barely going to survive the Icy Wind. The timer is coming up. The timer is coming up. Out comes the Snorlax, and I'm going to throw the Superpower. And this is going to be just enough damage to take out the Snorlax, and I win because I had more Pokemon. Good game. Insanely close game. Machamp and Gallade. Horrible scenario. Gonna safe swap Snorlax here. You saw me get 1 counter's worth of energy and then switch into Snorlax. This allows the confusion damage to register on Snorlax instead of Machamp. And they're staying in here. Obviously, they're going to be thrown in close combat, so I'm going to have to shield this. But the lick damage, as you can see, has done so much to Gallade. Out comes Empoleon. I know that the Gallade is low enough health that even if I land like a cross chop plus some counters, it might be enough to KO it. I go straight for the superpower there, because worst case scenario, I get a shield, which I do. Now I'm going to bring out Machamp and throw the cross chop here. I'm really hoping that whatever's in the back, Drifblim is going to be able to sweep, so I bring out my Drifblim. It looks like whatever's in the back, Drifblim is going to be able to beat, because Gallade is not a good response to this. Leaf Blade doesn't do that much. Oh boy, it's Lapras. Because they were slow to the switch, I think I'm going to be able to get my Machamp on this Lapras. They farm me all the way down with the Lapras. That is not great. Not great at all. But they don't shield up the Shadow Ball, and that is a huge mistake. My counter goes through. I know that they still have a Leaf Blade on their Gallade. I had to shield up one of these moves. They had enough for a Skull Bash. So now at this point, I have to counter down the Gallade. Actually, no, I throw the cross chop here. And then somehow a counter registers and I take out the Gallade. That was insanely close. Very good game. Machamp and a Toxicroak. In this scenario, I have to sack my lead, because Snorlax is also weak to Toxicroak, and I don't want to just switch into Drifblim right away. So both Cross Chop and Rock Slide are resisted, and Rock Slide is a slightly better move. And as you can see, I was only able to get off 1 charge move there, so I went for the Cross Chop. I was going to bring out my Drifblim to totally farm that thing down, because it does resist all of Toxicroak's attacks. But he was smart and brings out the Alolan Muck. This is not looking good for me at all. I let the Gunk Shot go through. Not good. Not good at all. Just going to throw these body slams here. And then I'm just hoping that my Drifblim can sweep whatever's in the back, because this is not looking great. That Alolan Muck has so much energy right now. I have to shield this up. I can't allow the Muck to land a Dark Pulse on my Drifblim. Have to shield this up again. So if he commits his last shield here, I'm in a world of hurt. He lets it go, and then he switches into Toxicroak. This is a big mistake. This actually gives me my win scenario right here. He switch locked his Toxicroak, so I'm going to farm it all the way down. Gonna farm it all the way down. The counters hardly do anything. I have 100 energy now. What is going to come out? He brings out his own Drifblim, which is a very interesting choice. I think his switch clock is still not up. I'm over farming even more here. I was able to successfully get the shield with the Icy Wind. Now I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball. Barely not enough to KO the Drifblim. Then I immediately switch into my Snorlax. This Dark Pulse is going to be able to take me out, but I need enough energy to get to an Icy Wind. So I hex it down. I barely have enough energy. My Balloon wins CMP. Good game. I was able to capitalize on my opponent's mistake and win that game, even with that hard team comp. Good game. Machamp and a Charizard. This is not the worst lead, but if you get baited by a Dragon Claw, it's really bad. Even if you successfully bait with Cross Chop, which I think I'm able to do right here. Yes, I'm able to successfully bait with Cross Chop. I'm not sure if the simulations are incorrect on this or something, but every single time that they Dragon Claw bait me, they are able to get to a Blast Burn before me, but they give up switch advantage right there, and so I'm going to capitalize on this mistake and get my Drifblim switch locked against the Gallade. Unfortunately, the Gallade just got an extra confusion there. No shield from that Gallade. Now, I'm going to no shield this because it's resisted, but if this Gallade shields this next Icy Wind, I'm a little scared. I left my Drifblim with minimal health to be farmed. That's good. Out comes Charizard again. And then at this point, I kind of need to make a decision here. I'm going to bring out Snorlax because it more safely absorbs the energy here. They try to bait me with Dragon Claw, so they just wasted a lot of energy. Going to throw the Body Slam here. Get the last shield. I can still survive a Blast Burn at this range, so I'm going to no shield. And they try to bait me again. 2 failed baits. Really puts them behind. I'm able to get to this Body Slam now. This is huge. Down goes the Charizard, and in the back is a Magnezone, and Machamp was going to have a heyday with that. Good game. Machamp and a Slowbro, really bad. You're going to see me throw 1 counter and then switch into Snorlax. Again, that allows the confusion damage to register onto Snorlax instead of Machamp. Out comes Ampharos. This is really good that Drifblim gets to avoid this at least. Really good that Drifblim gets to avoid this. So I'm building up to enough energy to bluff that I have an Earthquake here. Earthquake is 65 energy, I believe. And to build up to 2 Body Slams is 70 energy. Gonna shield up that Thunder Punch. And then they got a free Volt Switch in, which is not great. I get the last shield, which is really good for me. There's no point in shielding this, so I'm going to just take the shield advantage. I'm thinking that Machamp is absolutely useless against this line, so I'm just going to bring it out and kind of sacrifice it here. Give it no shields and over farm just a little bit. I'm going to have to throw a Cross Chop to take this thing out, though. Now I'm going to throw the Cross Chop. And I don't think there's any way I'm getting to a move on this Slowbro, so I'm just going to switch out immediately. They are staying in, which is crazy. This could be an Ice Beam, so we'll shield it up. I'm going to overfarm here. I could have overfarmed 1 more Hex, but I didn't want to be too sketchy. I'm able to take out the Slowbro. Oh my gosh. And as you can see, 1 Icy Wind is going to one-shot this Dragonite. So because I gained a shield advantage in the secondary matchup, I'm able to come back and win that matchup. Good game. Machamp into Toxicroak. Another really horrible scenario for me. I think this time I go straight Cross Chop though. I feel like sometimes I might be able to get in 2 moves. But as you can see here, this Mud Bomb barely doesn't KO me, and then I'm not able to get... Yeah, I think I should just go straight Rock Slide there, because I'm only going to get to 1 move anyways, and it leaves the Toxicroak slightly lower health. Or I should just build up to 2 Cross Chops. That might be a play. Build up to 2 Cross Chops and then throw. I might have to try that. But I can't totally farm this down. I did build up to a lot of energy that I'm going to throw the Icy Wind. Out comes his own Drifblim. I'm going to throw the Icy Wind. He just got another free Hex through. Not great. And then I'm going to build up to almost an Icy Wind there. I was going to try to catch something on Snorlax, but I have to shield this up. Build up to an Icy Wind. Now I'm going to switch out. He's building up to so much energy. I know this is just going to be a flurry of Icy Winds here. He debuffs my Snorlax. And then out comes Togekiss. But with this energy advantage, I think I only need to land 3 Body Slams still. 3 Body Slams plus the Lick damage. And I know that my Drifblim is going to win CMP against his Drifblim because mine is 100%. So this Body Slam, barely not enough to KO the Togekiss. At this point, I have to let this go through. And then I'm going to bring in my Drifblim to Hex it down. I get to this Icy Wind. I am 1 Hex away from getting to another Icy Wind. I have to shield this up. Thank goodness I saved this shield. 1 Hex away. I'm able to get there. And this should just be enough to KO the Drifblim to come back from that really bad lead. Good game. Alright, Machamp and a Venusaur. This is not ideal. Not ideal at all. Rock Slide will do a nice chunk to Venusaur. And switching in Snorlax onto Venusaur, that's still a favorable matchup for Venusaur, so it's not super ideal. I tried to bait with Cross Chop there, and it was a huge fail. I'm going to shield up this Frenzy Plant, and now I'm going to go for the Rock Slide. but it doesn't get shielded, so I'm able to counter it down. Out comes Gyarados. Just gonna go straight for the Rock Slide here. Bare minimum, I'm gonna get a shield. I do get a shield. And then I'm actually going to switch into my Snorlax to preserve that Machamp. So we're looking good. I baited out the Obstagoon, which would have been really problematic for my entire back line. And as you can see, Super Power does so much to Obstagoon. So much, man. I can let this Cross Chop go through and then throw a Body Slam here. This will be enough to KO the Obstagoon. Unless they want a shield, they're going to let it go and then farm down with Gyarados. They actually throw a move here, which is another big mistake. There's no point in dumping that energy. And I think that was a misclick. They recognized that and then undercharged it. So I really need to burn this last shield. So I'm going to bring out Machamp to farm up some energy, and then I bring into Drifblim. That was a stupid move. I should have just brought in Drifblim right away, and then I get baited with Aqua Tail, which is really not good. That's actually a bad move. Should have just brought in Drifblim, because that almost was going to allow this Gyarados to get to 2 crunches, where if I would have just brought in Drifblim to begin with and gone straight Icy Wind, it would have been a much cleaner win. So I don't know what I was doing there, but that was almost a huge throw. Good game. Okay, in this battle against Housetark, it's from, like, he is the one that gets the bad lead, and I'm an idiot and make some crucial errors here and lose the game. I bring my Snorlax in on the Gallade because for some reason I thought that I saw him at one point running a team with like Togekiss in the back, so I wanted to save my Drifblim for that. So my huge mistake was hard reading my opponent's team before I really even knew what they had in the back. Here I obviously should have double shielded and farmed down, because I lose switch advantage and shield advantage even though I had an amazing lead. And now my poor Drifblim is going to get stuck against the Obstagoon. And he has his own Drifblim in the back. So because of that secondary matchup, I played it so poorly. I should have just brought the Drifblim out immediately into the Gallade. The second that I saw that fighting and psychic typing, should have brought it out. And this really puts me at a huge disadvantage here. Going to bring out my own Drifblim. Out comes that Obstagoon. Really not great. I am going to be able to debuff this thing into oblivion, though. Night Slashers are going to be hitting super effective. I think I make this game fairly close. Oh, but then it gets the boost. And that really, there's no hope there. So I should have played that secondary matchup better. But we'll kind of watch this play out. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope this video gives you a little bit of courage to don't give up. Just if you lose the lead, don't give up. If you lose the lead, try to get either a shield advantage or a steep energy advantage out of that secondary matchup, and maybe even try to win out that secondary matchup a lot of the times to allow the counters to get on the correct Pokemon. Once again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate the content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.